What's going on, everyone? Seth Miranda here at my studio in Manhattan. If you don't know who I am, I'm a pro photographer right here in New York. You can check out some of my work at Last X Witness on Instagram, yell at me on Twitter, join me live on Twitch, all that stuff. But if you do know who I am, odds are you've probably messaged me about some old demos I've done. I feel like I keep getting at least one or two a week, if not more. And they're always about the Facebook demos I did when Adorama had an event space. And at the time, I was shooting the demo, placating to a crowd, live streaming it, handling a chat room, and just doing everything all by myself. So I failed to hit record. And so these are actually pulled from Facebook themselves. So we're gonna give this a shot. Let me know down below if this works out for you guys. I didn't want to put them all out there because the quality just isn't there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It was 1080 going out to a live stream. Facebook did whatever garbage they did to it, and then I pulled it back down and giving it back to you guys here. So it's been pretty processed. They're live demos, so anything can happen. I definitely cut them down as much as I could, cut out dead space or things that just didn't make any sense if you weren't there live, or things that were dated or things like that. So hopefully they're, digestible enough for you guys. I know that the longer videos aren't doing well on this channel, so I'm trying to make them shorter, but these demos have been requested. So please let me know down below if you're into this. Hit like, share this video around if you liked it, and all that kind of stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, plus the bell to get notified when more videos like this come out, and enjoy the demo, guys. I'm gonna just say I'm live. Usually it sends me live 10 seconds beforehand. What's going on to Facebook? Everybody in the crowd, what's up? See, there's really people here, but I only have one camera angle because I'm switching this thing myself. I'm Seth Miranda. This is Justin Schilling.
Hi.
He was like, I'm broke, I need a job, so I gave him a booking tonight. And that's like real. That's actually
that's actually a huge dental bill, and it sucked. Thanks, Seth.
Well, we got to keep those teeth together because I need to shoot with you.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to dedicate this one to my dad because he just got out of surgery, and it's his birthday. Why don't you take care of yourself, you chubby jerk? All right. I love you, Dad. I do. Okay, so this is character lighting. What's character lighting? Okay, this is awesome. What are you guys doing in a demo that you don't even know what it is? What's character lighting to you? How's that?
Lighting a character.
Lighting a character. That's the after school kid's answer. He's like, it's got to be this. Listen, when we do demos up here, almost always it's like, let's make them look great, right? Let's make them look beautiful, smooth, whatever we can do to elevate or get the best out of someone we can. But what we're doing with character lighting, and what I did for like a million years with this stuff, this is kind of extreme. I shot for the special effects makeup industry for about 15 years, right? And with this, it wasn't like I got to set up just for one makeup. I had to do like 30 in a day, right? So to do these, that was shot right here. To do these, I had to come up with lighting schemes that dictated a feel, an atmosphere, an environment for the character, right? Like you wouldn't shoot an old age makeup the same way you'd shoot an injury or an alien or a zombie even, right? You're not that old. You're this close to zombie. You're not full zombie. You're not full zombie. So what I'm trying to get across on this demo, and I haven't done it in a year, and the last time we did this demo, I was shooting Vanessa Joy, which was like the queen of light and airy, but we made her grimy and depressed and miserable, and we set a scene for her. We're gonna do kind of the same thing with Justin. Because he's an actor, I'm gonna get that next level out of him. So through lighting, dictating our shadow patterns, and really controlling the shadows to like a really precision point. Not just, that's good enough. It's not gonna be good enough, and I'm gonna show you why as we shoot, right? So one of the first things you're gonna do when you get into shooting anything, what's the first thing you gotta ask yourself? What am I shooting? What am I shooting? Am I shooting Justin as who he is as Justin? Am I shooting a character he's going to portray? Nah. Am I shooting his wardrobe? Am I shooting makeup? Am I shooting a concept, an idea, an environment for a scene? Kind of, yeah, we're doing all of that, right? Like we cast Justin because he brings something to what we're gonna do. We're doing a character, so we need to set a scene for that. We need to wrap Justin in something that's going to match the feel what we're gonna put out there. I always say that it's a language when we shoot, right? You're not gonna be there, and every choice that we make in a controlled environment is like a word in a sentence, and you're trying to get that sentence across. We're trying to communicate. So a lot of times, people will just, oh, let's make it scary. I'll just put a light from underneath and it's scary. No, that's Party City garbage, okay? And don't play that game. All right, so we're gonna just go for it on this. This is a beautiful picture of a C-stand. Yeah. So I'm going to shoot again to a black V flat. I'm doing that because I don't want to give you guys a distraction of a background. I want to show you guys how we can rip our shadows into our background and quickly create a vast void feel instead of I'm in a sterile studio space. Is that fair? Make sense to you guys? And I'm going to say this a couple times over the demo. The dumbest little things will change the perception, right? So if I did grimy lighting on him, but then had a blasted white background that looks commercially, it changes the feel, right? Dumb little things. There's plenty of times we do workshops with you guys where we have a backlight, and we turn it on, turn it off, and it's two different looks completely, and it's only out of perception, really. Nothing changes on our model, so to speak. All right, I'm gonna change it up tonight. We're gonna shoot with a 105 micro lens. Why? Because I've been really liking this lens a lot lately, and we're gonna shoot pretty tight. So let's get into this, yeah?
Wow. Tell me what you need.
All right, so I'm gonna shoot with, right in my ear, right in my ear. This is how you start a demo, kids.
You're a professional.
Thank you so much. You're the best.
Killing it.
And this is your last check. All right. So I'm gonna shoot with ProPhoto A1s for the majority of what we're doing tonight, mainly because when we're dictating our shadows, multiple light sources for me is how I control everything rather than large light sources, okay? Larger light sources will bathe a large area in light. And because it does that, we can't stop a shadow where we want to stop it and begin a highlight where we want to begin it. And that's why if you've seen any of my videos, it's like 5 A1s on a street because that is just for that and this is just for this. So we're going to get into that kind of plane. We're going to use balance and stuff so you can use Brooklyn reflectors and all that stuff. But for the most part, these are ProPhoto A1s. They're just speed lights. They're only about 75 watt seconds, which is just like a regular speed light. It's just a really efficient speed light, and I like them. All right. So this is a ProPhoto 1x1.3. I usually, for this demo, would use a beauty dish, but Dan took it home. So I'm not doing that. And the reason I usually like to dictate to a beauty dish for this demo, not always in shooting, is it's a hard light source that allows me to get close. And the closer a light is to my subject, the faster it falls off. Meaning highlight starts here, shadow starts really quickly, as opposed to behind my subject or the light wrapping around. Everything on your subject is a sundial. Micro little textures are sundials. The nose is a sundial. Your facial features are just ginormous textures. And you have to think of it that way, okay? So normally when you'd light someone and be like, oh, let's make you look so pretty. I'm gonna do a key and a fill and it's gonna look nice. No. If you want pretty stuff, come back for Dan's thing, okay? Like, I'm not doing that. All right. So we're gonna do a quick Ttl exposure. I'm gonna do an overhead light. And the reason I'm gonna do an overhead light is wherever my light isn't is where my shadow is. Actually, the first thing I gotta do is do what? What do we do when we do a demo? Black frame. We want a black frame. And the black frame is really important in this one especially because the black frame is the absence of the light in our space, right? So if I take this shot without anything, I'm gonna shoot at f8 at 200th of a second, ISO 100, and raw files and all that stuff. All right, so I'm looking at you, and we take the shot, and it should be a black frame, right? So this is essentially this is our shot, right? But if you look, and I take my exposure, and I pull it, when we start seeing him, he's about 3.5 stops away. That means that my shadow is 3.5 stops from my key light. The light that I record, the light that I'm creating, also creates a shadow, but that shadow isn't complete absence of light. This light is almost 4 stops away, and that means a lot because if I set my key light one way, that means my fill light have 4 stops of play till I start making other things show up in my frame. Does that make sense to you? The black frame isn't just like oh, it's black, we're good. No, it's dictating how much exposure is actually in those shadows, and that's a big deal for you people in post-editing if you want to do any dodging and burning, but it's also a big deal in your ratios, right? If I set my light so low that I actually start getting the fill, my shadow's only 1 stop away, I'm screwed for my fill light. I have no bearing on it, really. All right, so let's reset the exposure. And let's do this, and let's set a key light. So now the first thing I'm going to tell you is my key light is my only light source. That's the only light that I am recording. So that means wherever I point this light is going to dictate my shadow pattern. When you set a key light, it's not, I'm just going to put on the 45 like the book said, or the photo teacher told me it's over. No, it's not. It's really a choice of where do I want the shape of my light to come from, okay? We work really hard that no matter how many sources we use, that they look like it's one source, like everything else is subtle or not really there unless we want to stylize it. And that's because we're trying to create, when you're looking at me, where's the light coming from? Up here, right? It's coming down. We're trying to dictate what environment Justin's in, because that's the character. Where he is in is just as important as who he is. We're trying to give people a thought process to who they're looking at. So what I like to do, just for, especially for this demo, we're going to do a straight up overhead light. Very Mafia, right? Very Goodfellas. You see that famous Goodfellas shot, right? Ray Liotta's lift from overhead. There's more than one light in that shot, believe it or not. But, oh yeah, please get up. No.
I'm
All right, guys. Thanks, Justin. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my key light in a manner that I know where my shadows are going to happen, right? So if it's up here, that means my shadows drop down here. My axis is going to dictate how long those shadows get, as well as my distance of my light. The more I pull this light away, the longer those shadows get, just like sunset. The shadows start stretching. Same thing happens when we start pulling this light away, and I'll show you right now. But if I go completely overhead, his eye socket's filling with shadow. Let's do that really fast, and then everyone on Facebook will be like, these photos are terrible. Who is this guy? All right, let's do this. So I'm going to do a quick Ttl exposure. I'm going to let my camera tell me what the exposure is so I'm not using a light meter on this one. And now if I look at Justin, I know for a fact we're going to get drop down shadows. His hair covers his face a bunch. See how like really quickly those shadows hit? You don't even get out of his face before those shadows hit. And that's because I'm maybe a foot from him with a small light source, okay? What makes a light source softer or harder is the size of it, okay? So it's not the diffusion material. The diffusion material is just this stuff. All this does is stop specular highlights, that white. So if you see like a lot of oil shining on someone's face, it's better if you put more diffusion in there. But the size of that diffusion, hey, what's up, man? I shot you like how long ago? What's up, bro? All right, those shots are dope. I'm really happy with those. All right, so if I were to use a larger softbox, in theory, it would kind of what we call wrap. Light doesn't wrap around, but it would look like it's wrapping because it's slower fall off. This is happening really fast right here to here, super fast. That's because it's close to him and it's small. If I was using a 60-inch diffused umbrella, it wouldn't be that way. Now watch when I pull this light farther away, right? We're talking double the height easily. And because we're working in such small numbers, like a foot, 2 feet doesn't seem like a lot, but that's actually twice the ratio, right? Let's take a look at you. Oh, look at you. Let's take a look. And we can see how much more those shadows drag, right? Before, we had the shadow stopping right on his eyelid line. Now look where it's going, right into his eyeball, right? These stupid little things, this extra 6 inches of space you give a smaller light source, will change your entire image really quickly. And a lot of times people be like, oh, it's shadowy and I'm not, that looks really dramatic, it's great. Is it? Or can we get to another level with it, right? So if I drop this back down to like where I kind of liked it a little more, and we take a look at Justin, he's like, oh, hey guys. We take that shot again, we see where we're at, and we get that light back in that eyes. But now it's very dead eyes, right? Like I'm a big fan of dead catch lights. I've always been, it's just the way I like to see people. I don't really care about catch lights, but if you did a fill, right? I do a whole demo just on fill light. You could easily, really quickly fill them in, or you could just as easy dictate how much that shadow is, density of that shadow, right? So we can either do a specular, which is kind of nice because far away, a specular will just be a glint and not really affect my subject. White will just kind of like ease in there a little bit, right? So let's give this a shot really fast. Now, if I were to, I got it, don't worry about it. He's like a trained model. He's like, let me hold that for you. I don't like models holding reflectors because it changes their posture, and that I can always be like, ugh. So if I kept it here, it's gonna fill them in real tight, right? But I'm not gonna be, watch me like this after talking all this trash, watch. I'll be like, no, that's great. Boom. Right away, we have a catch light and he's filled in. But if I wanted to, I could drop this twice the distance away because this becomes a light source, right? But there's no power to it. It's only distance. The farther away it goes, what happens? More shadows starts dragging those shadows. But we're not. But the thing is, we already shaped him with our key light. Our key light made the shadows. This is how much we're filling in those shadows. The farther away we go, it's just going to measure how dense those shadows get. This extra little bit we got right, yeah, specular side. You see how we have that reflection of the foil? Because Brooklyn reflectors are awesome. Make them myself. Thank you. Right here. You got one.
They use aluminum tape.
In aluminum tape, sir, that's a lot of money. This is $5 in aluminum foil and spray glue. It's held together by my depressing despair. But if you really do want to see how to make these really clean, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/lastxwitness, I have 2 videos where I make these live and you guys can do it. So we had it like right on him, right? I'm going to hold it back down here and I'm going to shape it this way so that we have a shadow fall off to the bottom jaw more, okay? I shouldn't have used such a long lens. I totally screwed myself on this. So anyone who has tethering issues, it happens to everybody. It's never happened before. It happens to a lot of guys, I promise. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not me.
Not me ever, no, yeah.
You're going to tell anyone, aren't you?
You're not going to tell anyone, is that what you said? There it is. That's the photo that never came in. It must have been stuck in the buffer. So look, we were here with the fill. So look, no fill, right? We don't like Phil, he's a jerk. Then we go, hey Phil, you're being kind of cool, come here. Crazy amount of fill, but we still look like the shadow pattern we want. And then fill where we want it. So what do we just do? We shaped him with what? Distance of light and frickin' tinfoil. And how many times are they gonna tell you like, no, you need this signature series, whatever thing that some guy's trying to push at a trade show stuff? Or, what is your light doing and how can we get it to where we want it to be, right? And this was what, 3 shots consecutively, and all we did was really look at light theory. Light is predictable. Once you know your light, why can't you get more of a hit rate and also just give a client faster, different amount of looks? Does everyone get what's going on here? Am I totally skating over stuff?
Can you do the last shot with just the white?
Can I do the last shot with the white? Yeah, so the white's gonna have a different look, especially with that hard catch light. So we're gonna do the same on an angle. No, give me straight on. We're gonna we're gonna keep it kosher, because Don wants the white. Don. All right. So if we take a look at this, I lost the tether again. Oh, there it is. So when you look at the difference, first of all, look at the eyes, right? Look at the eyes and look at the wash is different. And also see on his lips, the specularity is different. It's when you use, and also right here, this is so subtle, but it's there. Right here versus right here. You see the shape difference under his eye? A harder light source is gonna give you that much more of a micro texture to the skin, causing more of a puffiness around the eye, giving you that kind of like depressing blah, blah, blah look, right? Or you don't sleep. I mean, we're in New York, bro. So let's say we're into this, right? Let's say we're kind of feeling this. In retrospect, we're looking at this guy, and when you drop this on the table or you put it somewhere, no one's reading your caption. I promise you had this whole thing. No one's reading captions, right? They have to understand what's in this image and really read it in 7 seconds. You got about that long to get someone's full interpretation of this. And I'm sure when they're scrolling past shots of like nice food, puppies, hot girls, and then this, they're not going to stick around that long, right? No offense.
No, that's okay.
I'm not a hot girl.
Great.
Let's say I added another light, right? Like we have our key and our fill kind of somewhere, right? Like we already have a dramatic shot. Like what do we do? Like 5 frames so far. So if I take another light, right? Oh look, it's right. Oh, it's so convenient. Oh my. Oh, look at you. So I'm going to take another A1, and let's throw a soft bounce on it, which is am I still on this? Yeah. Sorry, Facebook. So this is a really quick way to get more of like a directional light that's not directly pointing at my subject. You can get other modifiers. I really like these, but they can be finicky. Some people just don't jive with them. Guys like Dan Norton who just, he's learning. Dan's learning lighting. It's okay. We'll let it slide. Hi, Dan. All right. So I'm going to lay this on its back. First, I'm going to do this so I can see my power settings. Are we all good? Everyone's got these like long faces. I know it's like humid and you know it's like 5 o'clock in the middle of the week, and I got to look at this guy. And I'm going to put this in Group B so that I can independently control it. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this light off, and I'm just going to look at what this light looks like. Okay. Now I have a fill light coming from the bottom left, right? And then we have all this shadow. So my choice here is, do I tack on top of my highlight side and give it a stylized kind of halo, or do I break the shadow and kind of give you something? Now remember, when light's coming from behind our subject forward, no matter what we do, it'll always appear more intense or more higher in exposure because it's coming at our friggin' lens. Like it's like, you could have a light meter at it, it'll say F8, it'll still look like it's burning through. Just perception, just reflection towards lens. Okay, so me, just if we're gonna build a shot here all together, I like a dense shadow and then a break back here and a shadow in between. So I like my shadow like right here, accent here, and then my fill light. Now this light isn't really lighting him, right? This light is our atmosphere. It could be a million different things. So let's start by putting it over here. And I'm going to look forward for me. Do as you're told. Listen to me. Later, we're going to set like an actual scene up. So that's going to be pretty fun. I mentioned it during the last time I did this, and I said, I'll do it next time. So I kind of got to do it. All right. And what I'm really looking at with this is I'm not trying to hit him right on his shoulder, not right on him, but just brush past him a little bit. I want this to cast some little bit of shadows. We'll see what it really does. But I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to put it into TTL, just get me exposure. Now, TTL from behind doesn't really give you the greatest results, but it's okay. I'm just trying to get a base exposure, right? Okay, so I'm going to shut A off. I'm going to fire that. We're going to take a look at you straight forward. And let's take a look at this. Okay, now I know looking at my last image, that is going to kill the shadow I created. 100%, right? But I already have it set up. It might be cool. Totally, I know I'm so scientific. Like, no, just do it till it looks cool, guys. That's it, it's over. What I'm gonna run into as an issue is that light could hit this board and change everything. We're in this together, right? Right? If I go down, you go down, right? Yeah, that's right, that's right. It's just a demo. Let's take a look. Not bad, but all my eye goes to is that hairline on the right side, right? Yes. Hey, Justin, do me a favor, turn this way for me. Yeah. Moving your model is the same exact thing as moving your light. You're lighting the model, right? Distance, angle, everything. So turn your head this way a little more. Now if I punch this in harder, because I know I'm going to get a shadow on this side, chin down a little bit. Yeah. You can easily see how fast the pattern starts changing, right? But that light in the background is still really, really punchy. So what I'm going to go into is then that light, I'm going to drop it down 2 stops because I already know no matter what I do, it's going to be punchy. The pattern of it might not be cool though because it's still bleeding into the shadow line that maybe we want to keep. Look at me this way. Yeah. And what I'm doing here is I'm just giving you like thinking out loud thoughts while building a shot, right? Oh, look at you. So now what did we really get here? We sculpted the temple line. We no longer have a really annoying hair light, but it's still there. Had I kept this one, I could argue to you that maybe he's walking out of a garage with the headlights still on. You can make up these scenes if you want. In fact, it's a relatively hard light. If I wanted to keep it there, I could throw a little bit of fog behind there and give you that exhaust if I wanted to, or it could get really cheesy, but we're not gonna get into that. Maybe a little later, but I wanna get to like an actually built shot. But does everyone see what's happening there? We're sculpting him out, light by light. Even the bounce board is part of that. Now let's say I move the axis of this light. Jeez. Let's say I move it, look forward for me. Yeah. To more behind him, so it brushes around him, and I go back to closer to my original exposure, which was brighter, right? If it's not bleeding around him, we should get a nice shadow line in theory, right? And I'm going to turn your head a little bit to the right. Yeah. Let's take a look. See that? We actually still keep the shadow, and then we have this harder light, and you start thinking like, well, where is he a bit, right? There's a little bit to it. So that's like a speed crash course in sculpting of something with light, whether it be product, face, whatever. The closer it is, the faster that light falls off. The farther I pull that light away, the longer the shadows drag. The choice of your modifier is going to change everything, right? A 3-foot octa close to someone is going to be completely different from a 1x. This was like an extreme, like I was like, let me get really tight light, whatever. But this is, you're going to cast your shadows how you want to shape, and then you're going to fill to get the density you want, and then everything else is accents and atmosphere and feel. I can even put the flashes behind them and make them look like they're headlights if I wanted to, right? Like I could just keep going with this. When I'm looking at someone for a portrait, right? I'm looking at their skull and muscle fibers, and I'm thinking about sculpting them as an inanimate object, and then I think about the portrait. I think about how I can get the person that's in front of me to look like this as dimensional as possible, and then I set the mood based on what I get from them. That's my method. It's copyrighted, trademarked and stuff, so I get royalties. I'm sure Vanessa Joy is going to snake that from me and call it something, but in reality, that's when you have the choice to create the lighting on a subject, you're documenting the light. They happen to be there, but you're documenting the light. Everything else beyond that is X factor type stuff. His expressions, your relationship, they're relaxing. The atmosphere you put them in. Because we're in vapid black abyss, your imagination can go anywhere I want it to go. It's how much stuff I put in there that starts making your brain go left instead of right. And little tiny things, like if I had him here and I put like gummy bears in his pocket and he's trying to look hard, you're kind of like, I guess that guy really likes candy. You know, like there's just something, or what if I had lipstick on his collar? You know, there's a little bit of a story there, or he had a hickey. You know, who knows, right? I don't know what he does. If I looked like you, I'd be getting in mad trouble. But you see what I'm saying? You can, he's clean right now, but what if I made him sweaty? In fact, you want to do sweaty?
Yeah, let's do it.
I have sweat. We're going to do some stuff.
Not done chasing a perp or something.
I mean, I found this stuff in the drawer. It's a pretty good fake blood where we might get into some blood work a little bit later. But this is sweat, and this is not just water. Coming from special effects, I can't just, in good faith, tell you guys to spray people down with water. It won't shoot right. Spraying water on someone, it sheets, it lays flat, it doesn't give you a dimension, and you're going to spend more time lighting for water than the person. So to give yourself a little bit of an edge, this is half glycerin, half water, so it beads and has a density to it. Disclaimer, hey Linda, disclaimer, it's slippery as hell. So the floor, I'm not kidding you, like it's crazy slippery. Watch yourself, put towels down, whatever. Don't just spray it wildly. People sweat in specific places, right? The brow, you know, like some people have it heavy on their nose or whatever, but you don't just go like, your ear's sweaty. Like, what are you doing? It looks, so that's another thing, right? Do we want them to look like they were sprayed by water, like they were near a sprinkler, right? If we wanted that, now we know. If we want it to look like sweat, it comes from pores and stuff. Okay, so let's make you look a little stressed out.
Go for it.
Glycerin and water, you said. Right?
Half glycerin, half water. And glycerin, don't let them shake you into buying it the expensive stuff. You can buy like a whole gallon of this for $14 easily. It's vegetable. It's not. All right. You all right? Mm-hmm. Open your eyes. You're okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've used the Trump jelly in water before.
Yeah, if you use Vaseline down first, then spray water, but the problem is it sheets so fast. Let's do this. Like I wouldn't have this here, honestly. I'd have it more dripping off the brow. This is kind of what is the luxury of having a makeup artist on set there, watching that stuff and dabbing it where it should go. But you can see how quickly oh my God, I'm so slimy now.
Oh yeah, I feel it.
Whoop. You can see really quickly how we went from nice and dry to like more of a distressed look. There's something happening there. It's an extra level to it, right? There's just dumb things you can do. A lot of people like using eye drops, right? When girls have garbage mascara, I love teary girls. I love the look of, all right. Okay. I just like tragic look. I like the idea that there's something that you cannot know what the issue is, but it's powerful enough to affect them. That's how I like my images. And I think it locks people in. Some people can actually reflect on an emotion. Do you want like a paper towel really quick?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I actually made sure to get some towels.
More play shots before.
Well, we're gonna make you look like you're in the rain a little bit, actually. So everyone good on this? Like little tiny stupid things, right? If I shot, like the last time we did this, it was Vanessa Joy, and I made it look like she was in a bar scene eating a cake by herself on her birthday because she was lonely and hated life. Well, I also made sure there was a lipstick mark on a glass or something stupid. Just that extra level, if you put in that effort, so will your viewer. Does that make sense? Like, keep them there. You know what I mean? Let them be excited to see what comes out next. All right, we did that. So we get crash course in sculpting and drama. Any questions before I move forward? Yeah.
Question. Is it part of character lighting? Like you've been shooting pretty high.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Well, I'm shooting hot because I'm shooting contrasty. There's always going to look, oh, high. I'm doing that because it's the fastest, easy way to show you guys shadow patterns. I could do a side light, make it look like a creaking door open, things like that. My biggest tip for anybody doing location lighting is look where the light is coming from. When I used to shoot in motels a lot, I would throw all the lights inside the bathroom and then crack the door however I want it to look. And then it looks like the light is just coming from the bathroom because that's the light I kind of remember all the time when I'm, in a hotel or something. It's like that's the light you leave on. Everything else is like not disturbed, things like that. Or maybe there's someone in that bathroom and the door's just creaked enough and it's creepy. Or maybe it's wide open because they have that kind of relationship. I don't know. But you see what I'm saying? And then you can add things like the lamps and whatever. And there's all sorts of stuff you can do. But don't ever try to fight the organic feel of an image when you're doing character. Why would it look perfect? Right? Why would it always, we're in this hotel room, but somehow the light is coming from here, even though there's a light in the ceiling. You want to refine the idea of the light that exists there now, right? Like if I were to shoot here and be like, I want a presentation look, I'd still shoot from this angle with the light, but I'd refine the light itself, like maybe put my strobes where these lights are and point them how I want them through something I want the feel of. Makes sense? And that's, we spend so much time in cinema style shooting mimicking and exaggerating, because if I were to shoot in this space, I'd have to shoot at like f2.8 to get this to open up. Maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want to shoot at a low ISO with a tight aperture. I have to make that lighting, but make it look like this. Capiche? Yeah?
What ISO are you using?
I'm on 100.
Okay, and the f-stop?
The f-stop I'm shooting at is 8. Yeah.
And the speed of the flash?
The speed of the flash.
Flash is over 250?
The shutter speed or the power of my flash? Shutter speed is at 250. This is all straight up studio stuff. 250 is my flash sync. F8 because I wanted that depth of field, and I also wanted to eliminate this base. That was our first frame, the black frame. And then ISO 100 because if I'm creating the lighting, why would I degrade my image by raising my ISO? The only time I'm raising my ISO is if there's existing light that I'm trying to use, like the store maybe. I want to use that light as a background. Creep up the ISO maybe just to let it come in my lens a little bit more, and then I change my lighting based on that. But if I can control the light, there's no real reason to creep up my ISO and degrade my image. Okay? All right, let's do something really fun, and we haven't done here yet, ever. Wow, I did 40 minutes on just sculpting light. Okay. Thanks for coming. No, it's okay. Let's make Justin look like he's in a rainy car, and we're going to do textured light, and we're going to get some drama going, and maybe we'll throw some accent stuff in there. So I think I'm actually going to shoot into the store for this one because I want to use a shallow depth of field and just get that as like a background out of focusness. There's an atmosphere right there right away, right? It's really easy to abstract the background and still give the feel of something. So those lights back there, subdued, but still like bokeh-y, will give me some sort of street light look if I try hard. So in fact, if I do this, I'm actually gonna limit the light in this space because I have that ability, so why not? Okay, so if I do this and I'm shooting this way and I shoot at wide open, right? And I go that. So that'll be out of focus with just in the foreground. It could look like signs on a street. Whatever, right? It's not a vapid death black space. Okay, so let's set up a rainy car shot. You guys want to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, there's voices. Listen to this. Listen to this. So I need an atmosphere and I need an environment. Two different things, right? I need a car for Justin to sit in. So let's go outside. Oh, no, sit. Oh, you kidding me? Whoa. No, no, sit, homie, sit.
Oh, me?
Yeah, just sit down. Okay, so this is a C-stand, right? Here's where a studio becomes anything you want it to be. This is a piece of plexi. And I'm going to make this balance the best I can. The way you grip anything in a C-stand, like safely and without damaging stuff, is you rip the knuckle open and you go against the flange on the arm, not in the knuckle with the sockets, okay? So it's as flat as it can be. So I'm going to do, yeah. All right, so this, what do you think this is? It's car window, right? Now, let's just make sure. Yeah, pretty stable, right? Now you have two options, right?
How much was that piece of?
How much was this piece of plastic? That's the question.
Yeah.
Pro tip, go to Canal Street Plastic and have a blast. There's every size, every thickness. This is, I want to say 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch thickness. But also that is actually important because if I'm shooting a car window, if I just put it on a piece of plastic that's papery thin, it won't refract the light going through the plastic like a window. It won't like give me this like weird organic break in the light, okay? So I got a window, I need rain. Well, I got sweat, right? I can set that up, spray this, and now we have two options, and I'm gonna let you guys make the call on this. We can shoot light through it, get the pattern of rain on his face, or we can put this behind Justin and use it as a background that we're sitting in the car with him and this is behind him. Oh, I know. If it was my way, I'd set up two of these and shoot through one and one is the background. But guess what? This is a demo and you're gonna let me off the mat for like 5 seconds, okay? So what do you guys want to do? If you guys want me to shoot through it, raise your hand.
Shoot through it.
Oh, geez, really? Wow, okay. Leave it to the mustache guy to tell me to do both. Okay. I tell you what I'm going to do. Damn it. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set this up here. First, I'm going to show you guys how we project texture light onto a subject, because I'm sure there's plenty of times you guys have tried to shoot through something and it didn't make the texture, right? Okay, Justin, you want to come over here, man? Sure. And because Justin is sitting in a car, no. Let's. If he goes too low, my background's going to be you guys and your silhouettes. So I got this taller chair, right? And he's sitting. We want that posture. We want the sitting posture, okay? Watch this turn into a train wreck. I said I'd do this last time, so we're going to do it this time. Okay. I'm going to raise this up so I got him. Jesus. I'm going to make some room for myself. I'm going to take, I didn't do the ethereal shot. Do you guys want to do this? Let's do this. Damn it. All right, we'll do that as a closer. We'll make him look ethereal. It's kind of fast and filthy. We'll do that. Okay, I'm going to take this light and I'm going to switch it around. So I know this is going to get confusing. I'm just turning the light in the box around, so I'm using the light raw. I'm not using the box. I just needed something to hold it on a stand. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Raise this up. Now what's really cool about the A1s is they got this awesome modeling light, so I can actually see what's happening. I can actually see where this pattern's going to go, which is ideal. Now, ideally, when you do this kind of lighting, you want a focused light, a projector head, the data lights that Dan uses, the projection heads that you see on the aperture lights, all that kind of stuff that lets you focus a light, ideally limits the spread and diffraction of a light and lets it project. We don't have that. I got speed lights. So what I'm going to do is not put a magnet on my hard drive. What I'm going to do is zoom my head all the way so it's a tight spot, right? So it's like really tight, right? Because you can see over here, right? It's like all over that V flat. And then if I tighten it down, it's just a spot. That's what we want. I'm going to further that by using the ProPhoto A1 grids, which are 10 and 20 degree. I'm going to stack them. I'm just going the whole shebang on this, and it'll limit the spread of the light. Like you can barely see it, right? But it's going right through this glass, right at Justin's face to make the pattern, okay? We in this? We in this?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're gonna, I'm literally setting this exactly how I want it. I'm I'm gonna just do some quick spritzes. If I was on a legit set, I'd probably really scale this out, like measurement and everything. We're going fast and filthy on this. All right, so first what I'm gonna do is just get an exposure on him without the rain on it. And also just see what the hell I'm looking at. I mean, who knows what's going on over here. All right. You know what? I kind of want to scoot you all the way over this way.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm like shooting right into a cabinet over here. Boy, my God, there's not a lot of people like blocking this, man. Oof. No, I'm just kidding. Sit down.
Back down this way, right?
Yeah. Okay, so the light is going through plexi. It's going to look a little different and weird, right? I feel like I'm doing a home shopping network thing. Like, all right, it'll clean glass. You know, it's like, geez, man. All right, let's do this. Jeez. Let me scooch this. Now, the closer this is to him, this becomes a light source. Remember that. The light's hitting this. This is basically our light. I know that's our light source, but this is going to give us more of a fighting chance. The distance of him to the texture I'm projecting is crucial. He's got to be closer to it. One, because I need it to be focused on him. And two, it also gives me a little bit of edge because the farther this light is away from my texture, the more it gives me the focused texture. Remember, I pull the light back, it's harder. Harder the light, the better we're gonna be on this. Okay, so let's get an exposure on you. Look at you. Look at you. You've been living for this. You're like, I can't wait for this. I know you can't wait for this. I'm gonna push this back because I need some room. Someone on Facebook is like, hurry up already. I can feel it. I can just feel it. Let me just see what you look like. Oh, such despair. Let's just see what this looks like really fast without the rain. Okay, so there's that city in the background, right? We're building it. This is shot, this is light for light. Some people are gonna be like, we're not done. Calm down, Facebook. Last time I did this, they're like, look, what do you, like, you're not even listening to what I'm saying, clearly. Okay, I'm not doing anything till you guys scream. That's it. You guys are too quiet. All right, there we go. All right, so now here's the thing. Now this is gonna sheet a bit, so the key is don't go too heavy on the top. It'll just keep beating the snot out of it, okay? Now you want a few heavy spots, but you don't wanna go too nuts. And I'm looking at him and I can see the texturing hitting because I have the modeling light on. Let's see what this looks like. You see that? See over here, right? Come on. First of all, how sharp is that lens? So that's with just like a preliminary spritz, right? And I'm actually going to move this light back. It's not even close to full power, so we got room. Why did I put a sandbag on this? Who does that? There we go. Let's see what this looks like. Like literally not on him, on him. Do you see how tight this light is? Okay, so Justin, oh man, that looks fantastic actually. If that pattern holds, we don't know. We don't know. Let's take a look. Yeah, a little bit of dappling, right? And if you wanted, you can have an assistant like sit there and pound on it and make it like different for every shot. I'm going to move the angle of this a little bit. I'm gonna rip my cord out of my laptop. We're gonna have a good time. Take a look at you. Let's take a look at a few of these. You see how it's not clean light? I totally don't have any of those lights in the background, so I'm gonna step back myself. Let's take a look. Really break up the black behind him, right? We start doing these things. Well, why can't there be a neon sign behind him? Why can't there be somebody with a red brake light on that's really annoying the snot out of him? I'm gonna put the modeling light on here too, and I can actually look where the red's going. It's a little too dense for me, so I'm gonna open it a little bit. So it's only like 2 folds, not 4 like I had before. Look at me. Okay, let me see. There we go. We start setting the scene. If I wanted to, look at me, just to test what it looks like, which is, it's crazy covered in junk, but just to see what it looks like shooting through it, right? We start setting a real atmosphere here. What did I do? Yeah. But what did I really do here, right? You could take a picture frame and do this, number one. I have a strobe. Without a grid on, you could snoot it if you had to. And I got a gel on a backlight. You have $60 in speed lights and a bored friend, you can do this. Okay? Now, this is like super fast. Like obviously we could keep growing on it. What I want to do is just for kicks, I'm just curious if I shoot this way. Turn to me a little bit. Turn to me a little bit.
I just see what you mean. Like I'm in the car.
Yeah, he's in the car because Bob said he wanted to do both. Because Bob, the mustache guy. What you say?
See, like I'm looking at my partner here.
Is the picture up? Okay. Yeah. Bob, the mustache guy over here. So I have a street light, which is my speed light, right? I'm in the corner. You know what's funny? I said to myself, if I ever end up in here shooting in a demo, I'm doing something wrong. Hi. How we doing? How we doing? Let's see what that looks like. I'm anxious, guys. What do you think? Oh, okay. So what do we need? What do we need? More light on him, right? Yeah. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to boost it because now it's going to be a red light because he's a cop that's just distraught over, like, do I take the drug money or do I save my partner? I can't save the case. You can't save the girl. Let's take a look. See what's going on there? And I can make a choice to get rid of the red gel altogether if I wanted to. But really, that's not too bad. It's a lot though, right? Yeah. So what should I do? Put in an accent of another light. What? It's true. That's why I have 84 speed lights. Let's do this. Oh, wait a second. I have this on-camera flash. What's that going to do? Get into the corners where that red light isn't exposing. So what I can do actually is drop this by like a little under two-thirds of a stop. Put this one on. Man, I'm out of breath. I'm sweaty. I'm doing this for you. For you. You're supposed to teach me Spanish. What's up? You're supposed to.
Learning a great deal today.
Oh, I got to tell you, I woke up today, I was like, this is going to be a really trash demo. Nah. Well, I knew you were going to be all right. Because when you're broke, that's when you're the best. Because that's when you're... All right, so I'm going to dial this down. So I'm at the same distance of this light to this light, right? This light is set to 7.5, but it has a gel in front of it, so it's already handicapped by like a stop, 2 stops. So I'm going to go up to here, and I'm going to set it to 5, which technically should match, and just see what I get, okay? Turn to me a little bit, and then just look off a little bit, yeah. He's living a dream right now, this guy. Whoa, too much, right?
Yeah.
So let's dial this down to like almost nothing, right? I'm also right on top of him because I'm a jerk. Had I be doing this for real, like an actual job, I'd be metering, honestly. I'd be metering. There we go. Just a little bit of neutral light. So when we had this, see how we lost him a bit? Here, it's mixed. It's not just a red light on top of a window. Be like, hey, I used a gel. This shows a little bit more theory to it, right? If I were to do this with another light, I'd probably put a light here on the other side of him, really powered down on teal, because teal will counteract a lot of the reds, and it will look like an organic light that's out there, like a green light source, like a green light on a crosswalk. Wait, there's more. I have frickin' blood, I'm using it. Now, with blood, you could easily go super theater, right? If you missed it on him, he did something to someone else. If you dab it on him, he's injured. Do you see what's happened there? We're not just throwing things against the wall here. I see a lot of people playing around on Instagram. It's like, look, there's blood. It's real. What are you? You don't even bleed from there. How's your hair? Like what? I don't. My thumbnails. Like whatever. I don't know. So now we have to make a choice. Do we want him to have done something to someone else?
Yeah, make him a felon.
I'm not going to do that. And you know why? I'm not going to spray it on him. You know why? We have too much red light in this shot. It'll cancel out. If I dab heavier spots on him, there's more likely we'll see it. We made a choice. We're staying with it. That was your fault.
Question: is there another color like similar to teal that counteracts red as well?
Well, look at the color wheel, right?
Gotcha.
So blue over yellow, you know.
Yeah.
So
Like that. Gotcha.
yeah, like color theory could elevate everything in your game, 100%. A lot of people just throw gels around. They go like, let's put red and blue here. It'll look like cool, and you know, American Apparel loves me or whatever, you know. But really, if you learn color theory, when I shoot special effects to minimize like bad vein work, I'll throw magenta light in there. It's all theory, and stupid things like that that make a shot deliverable out of camera will get you your next job 100%. I'm totally off camera, and Facebook's like, what am I looking at? The back of this dude's head. All right, so let's do a little dabby dab.
Go for it.
Look at me, Bubby. All right, I'm going to put my finger in your nose.
Good.
So 1 out of 9 people are left-handed, so he got hit by a right-handed guy, right? Oh, look at you. Oh, look at you. This is the worst way to do blood arrow, I swear, but you get what's... He got his mouth ripped apart. Shh, shh, shh. Okay. Let's start with that, because if it sucks, I'm not going to kill his face with it, right? Also, whoa!
You lost your mic.
My mic got caught on stuff.
I got you.
Oh my gosh, this is really bad. This is really bad.
Wow, how'd you do that?
Magic. Okay, now I'm going to throw one even better in there. Because we're using a hard light source, you know it shows up really well? Smoke. Now let's say he has an ash, he's vaping. He's one of those Wall Street guys that are so cool, right? They're so cool. Freaking boiler room guys that have no personality, so they buy a really good vape machine, you know? One of those guys. Oh, here we go. Can fog, $14 a can. It'll last you a while. You can just make an atmosphere happen. You have to kind of use a lot though, because it dissipates fast. Well, it's probably not going to show up, but why not? It's there. I'm using it. See, it's already gone because the AC is on, isn't it? Yeah, the AC is on. I work alone. I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel. All right. Turn a little bit. Turn this way. Damn it, Justin. All right. Damn it. This is also a micro lens, so it's like focusing for like 10 years because I'm an idiot using a micro lens. That little bit of, oh, whoops, I'm a jerk. I didn't even put the image up, huh? Oh, I'm a complete jerk. So just that little bit of gloss on his mouth, that drip from his nose, gives you something to read into after you already got the initial principle of the image, right? Stupid things like this. Now, if I wanted to neutralize more of the red, what could I do? Keep on creeping in this light. Is this cool? Are we like on a good, or is this just like complete? All right, cool. God damn. Ah! Okay. I got one for you. You ready? So right now, Adorama has these for $1, and they're UV filters. Because it's $1, I don't mind wrecking them. And because I'm using a lens that has this size, and I just bought it for $1, we're going to put this on the lens, and I'm going to smudge it so it looks like I'm looking through the other side of a car.
Are those 58?
I don't know what size they got. I just know it's green and cheap. So with like actual strategy, you do the outsides because I don't want to play games with him too much, right? I'm shooting super shallow. Let me see. Turn this way a little bit. Let's see what this looks like. You see? They see the corners have that smudge to them. Now we have that really humid look. Maybe you're someone that wears glasses like me, and that's what it looks like when you're sitting in the car with Justin because he's just so attractive. I mean, it's out of focus. That's better. But you see the top of his hair, how it has that flare point? These little organic things that make every shot just that much different is what makes it believable. Because in real life, do we always have setup lighting like this? No, right? This is really, man, I gotta say, it's not bad, bro.
Thanks, man. I got it prepped for you.
Look at that. Look at that. Also, one reason I like using speed lights, it gives you the organic look of the iris that's not completely closed down because there's no real light closing his eye down. Stupid little things like this is, how many times do you look at a shot on Instagram? Is that real? Is that, I don't know. The longer they look, the longer you get away with it, the better you did, you know? And I am not a fan of Photoshop. I don't like going, what did this originally look like? Because that's why I spend more of my time looking at an image going like, what did she really look like with real pores? I'm not into that. I like real women. And people. Damn it. Oh my God. Why am I so, it's so humid. It's so hot in this car, Justin.
Yeah,
we should put on the AC.
I don't have it. The Freon's gone.
So,
No more.
is there any questions? That was like a lot really fast, right? But we did some really banana stuff, right? I am schwitzing. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. So what did we really do, right? We went through sculpting him, we cared about the light for him first, right? Before we touched anything, right? Then we tried to make the texture happen. Then we said, texture's cool, but that's kind of like this really sets more of an atmosphere for me. I kind of want to do one where it's more smudgy. Do you guys feel like it needs more smudge? Sure. That guy's like, nah, I get it. It's like, nah. Also, when you do blood, it's good to have two types. One that's really thick and coagulated so that you can have a bleeding point. Because even if the blood drips away and it's gone, you still have something there. Also, when blood thins, cheaper blood, if it gets thin on skin, goes magenta. Be wary of that, especially if you're doing lighting that exacerbates magenta, right? All blood is not created equal. I mean, I think this was like a $20 bottle, that little guy. You know, I bought ones that are $300 that are that much, and I've made my own, right? I might do a demo on my YouTube on making blood, so be on the watch for that. Look at me.
I'm looking.
There you go. Look at you.
Yay.
It's your first day of school. Look at you.
I can't wait.
Oh, my God. They're going to like your new school clothes. Look at you. Dabba, dabba, dabba. Oh, look at that nose hair. Just taking it. Just taking it. Ooh, right in there.
Try not to laugh as you have your finger up my nostril.
Also, I should say in a serious note is if I have my finger up his nostril, don't use that finger again on the blood because it is a health risk, okay? You guys ready to do this?
Yeah.
That was pathetic. Are you guys ready to do this? Yeah. Oh my God, what am I doing this for? Dad, I'm sorry, this is my career. I'm sorry, these people. All right. One more time, you guys ready to do this? Yeah. Atta boy, there you go. All right, kid. I can't see anything over here though. There's like no light. There we go. Oh, look at you. Look at that specular highlight on that blood. That's a bit much though, kids. That's more organic looking. But that specularity, oh, look at you. You're just like, why did you hurt me? Yeah. He's like, what do you mean see other people? But no.
Stories unfolding.
I don't like that specular, so we're going to pivot his head just a couple degrees one way or another. And then when we're done, Justin's going to be like, can I get those shots?
I am.
I'm manually focusing. Turn your head. Actually, how are we looking on that specular? Not bad, right? Not bad. Oh, look at that. Not bad. So that specular gives you that divot that's under the nose, gives you that sculpt. Okay, so that, oh my God. So that is a car, right? That's not bad, kid. I'm not hating it. He's like, what do you mean Twilight? These are real vampires. All right, I'm gonna do one more setup that's not this, and I wanna do ethereal, just because I did on IGTV, and I don't do it much with men, and I wanna do it with Justin, because I think he's great. So the reason I wanna do ethereal is, he's got a suit and tie on, evangelist, baby. Let's make some you know what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm gonna turn this light back on, because I'm not using a shallow aperture now. Because I remember, F8, 4 stops away, I was shooting at 2.8. That would have started showing these lights, right? That's why we shut the lights off. Make sense? Yep. Capiche? My shirt is so covered in sweat. I used to wear white shirts like every day, you know? And then I looked at all my demos and it looked like I have no other clothes. And then it looked like the janitor was up here playing with a camera. So I was like, that's it. I'm gonna start wearing some other shirts. Okay, Just, let me get you stand right here. So what I'm gonna do to make him ethereal is, one, I have that smudgy lens going right now, right? That's gonna help me make my light disperse and glow off of people, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna light source behind him. I'm gonna throw this B2 right here, which is 250 watt seconds in one head. Turn towards that. I'm gonna turn this guy on. It is slippery air, so watch yourself, please. Okay, so I'm putting into group D because it keeps the light away. If I do a key, a fill, or something else, I just know I want this blazing. What I'm gonna do is dictate my lighting off of this light, meaning if I get the right amount of flare based on the power and my exposure, that's where I'm keeping it. I'm gonna put my other lights in or whatever I want else slowly based on that. Because if I don't get the flare, it sucks. If I get too much flare, it sucks. Therefore, that is really where I wanna be. Okay, let's shut these modeling lights off before these A1s go dead. Oh, they're not, they're like 3/4 still good, all right. All right, so I have this 3-foot Octa magically over here. I don't know, it's just so convenient. This place is it's like a magic hat. Wow, look at that. Okay, I'll step forward a little bit. Okay. And I'm gonna make it completely flat to him, okay? Now I'm using a 105 lens. That means I'm compressing my background as it is. So this will easily cover the background. If I was using a wide lens, you'd see more of the edge of the box, okay? I'm just gonna crank it. Let's make myself completely, I don't need retinas. Who needs retinas? All right, I'm gonna shut this light off, and we're just gonna take a look at you at f8 and see how this looks for us, okay? They should be a crazy silhouette. And boom, look at that. So close already, right? It's a little bit too much, and the reason it's too much, I smudged the lens, and it's not exactly exposure, it's just light flaring like a beast. So, man, look at that. Look at your skull fragments. Cool. Jeez, man. Unreal. Skull fragments. I'm sorry, not skull fragments, skull structure. Bone structure. Whoa.
I'll take
Okay, sorry, guys.
Fragments all over.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dial this light down by like a stop and just calm it down a little bit. Now, what's cool about the Octa is it's so big that it can wrap light around him, and I can use this light back. Easily use a Brooklyn reflector, right? Before I even set a light source up, I can get my light back in here. So I can still have that silhouette feel. All right, so we don't want to do this because that's gonna monster light him, and also, odds are it won't catch enough of the light. What we wanna do is get the light coming around his shoulders and over him, and of course I wanna get it like on him, okay? Let's take a look. And there he is, breaking away, right? Not enough for me, though. Like, it's just subtle enough, it's there. His ear is more prominent than he is, right? So I can actually go into that light, back it off by a stop, but if I do that, my fill light also goes down, remember? So what does that mean? It means I gotta put a light source in here, or else I'm gonna be long-arming the death out of this. Before I do that, I'm gonna try the white really close, because once this fails is when I start putting lights into play, because I can do this all day until something works out, all right? All right. Let's take a look. All right, not bad, right? Not bad. Could use a little more. Could use a little more, right? I'm gonna get a light in there. Now, here's what I'm gonna do to get that light in there. I'm gonna shut this light off. I'm gonna put my key light in. I'm gonna TTL that light for the aperture I'm at, because that aperture's set for that light and we're good, right? We just need a kiss to break up the silhouette. The TTL is gonna give me a proper exposure on him. Do I want a proper exposure? Kinda not. I want it to be subdued because remember, light's flying this way. As soon as it hits this box, it's gonna reflect. So it's the reflection of this light plus the light I'm already kicking out. So let's take off these awesome grids, which I'm super psyched on. Oh, man.
You're almost there.
I know, I'm almost there. All right, so I'm gonna turn this light on to group A, and I'm gonna put a dome on it to really fill the box as much as I can. And let's get this light into play really fast. So I'm gonna get this box not directly overhead. Why? Shadow patterns, come on, right? Do we wanna have a mafia light when we're trying to go for ethereal? No. Not really, right? Look at this, he's like from Lost right now, right? Scooch this way just a little bit. And I'm going to, I can't lower this light, okay. I'm gonna lower this light just because I want to step back a little bit, and now I can because I'm not doing the bounce, right? Okay, so let's get a TTL just on this A light. Take a look at it really quick. Okay, now we're gonna lose all that black around him. It's gonna be replaced by flare, right? So I'm gonna go back into manual to lock in this exposure on the A light. D is already set for my aperture. I'm looking at this guy. There you are, John Constantine. Okay. Let's get a few like this.
You need to start smoking cigarettes nonstop.
Let's get a few like this. Sure. Now, if he was not wearing the necktie, different perception, right? If he didn't have the blood on his face, different perception, right? If his hair was scraggly, if his head was shaved, way different perception, right? All these little things are character. All right, let me do this a few times. Step this way. So since he moved, I'm going to, actually, you know what? Let's just go for it. Do me one where you're kind of like this. And yeah, and then step this way a little bit. Oh, look at you, girl. Bring it. You know what? I don't have, can I put you on an apple box? Okay.
No, my fragile masculinity, my height.
I'm putting him on an apple box because that stand is, I want his hands in the white. Oh man, now you're too tall for me. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop his head. I don't care. I don't care.
Come down. I can like.
Stop it, Bubby. Put him like right here.
Sure.
Yeah. I just want to see if I can get. I probably don't have enough room to step back, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't have enough room. All right, we'll do this horizontally. Welcome to the event space, kids. That's not bad. All right, so we're gonna go chin up slightly, okay?
Sure.
We're gonna go chin up and then play the blood up towards the light a little more.
Sure.
Okay? I'm telling him that because I think losing that second eye just isn't appealing to me right now.
Right about here.
No, you got to be in the middle of the box. So if we got to move the box, okay, yeah. And then pull those hands up, hands up, hands up, and then give me that scrunch, and then chin up a little bit. Like attaboy. What? What? No heaven?
Yeah, I feel like
Nah, it's not gonna work out right. Yeah, it's like what? What? You wanted a devil? This was more into. I'm more into it. But with the flare, watch where we got protected. Look how clean and crisp a key element of what we were throwing in there was. An afterthought is, and we still have all this flare point. Like that is X-Files straight up. Actually, do me a favor. Actually, you know what? Get off of this.
Sure.
Forget the hands thing.
Cool.
Look, come over here. Look straight at me. Chin up slightly. All right, hold it. Hold it. Yeah, that's that. And you could actually see the words on a Subway poster on this one, right? What time this show is on. Shark Week sucks, watch this. You know? I want to get this. Come here, come here, come here.
Joe Pesci one.
Come here. Look straight at me. Look straight.
Straight.
You got to stay conscious of where the lights are, bud. Okay?
I'm a model.
I'm a model. Blue steel. Let's see. Yeah. So you have enough of the flare present. You have enough of an eye to line. You have enough of a character's little tiny tidbit. That blood is now easily 1/8 of the frame, right? And that's a non-conventional way to frame something to get a bit of a feel to it. Look straight at me. Right there. Stay with me. Chin up. Stay like that. Check this. Chin down a little bit. Attaboy. There you go. Just moving his head gives you what? Different perceptions, ton of different feels. Straightforward, very looking right through you. Cocking to the side gives you a little bit more of a casual feel to him. Dropping his head gets the light out of his eyes and gives you less of a human personal feeling to him. But this, there's no escaping this guy. And that is as detailed as it can get for you to have a connection. I mean, I could surf on that water line. Mulder, way to go.
Yeah.
So Justin Schilling, everybody. Is there anything I left on the table? Any questions? Anything that you didn't get? I mean, think about what we just did. Let's go through a journey together, kids. Let's do this. We got to here. We were shooting Justin in a car, right? Oh, look at that catch light. Just suck you in, right? We did a little bit of, why is nobody like me? You know? And then, and of course, we did a bunch of sculpty stuff with him looking very awkward at us with sweat or just looking like he has bad gas. But we went through this whole, what did we really do? Did we leave this space? Did we, if I bled these images out slowly over a couple months, would you think I shot this all in an hour? No, right? What you put in your frame is up to you. That's why when you guys come to us with critiques or portfolio reviews, there is no excuse for what's in your frame. You totally shot it how you saw it. Even if it's candid, there's things you chose to put in those frames. If you're going to control the light, you can control everything. You saw how schmucky he is, right? But meanwhile, we made him look all ridiculously hard when he's this. You know what I mean? Like, perception is everything, and what you're documenting before anything else is the light you create. Don't ever forget that. I mean, we could show you things on the news all the time where they try to make people look horrible and they use bad light and all, right? They show you the mug shot instead of the press kit, right? All the time. It's really up to you to how do you dictate, and really, in my opinion, being a photographer when you create your light is really creating the entire shot. And that's why I take this so seriously, and that's why for 15 years I shot special effects. Because I could have shot it from with an underneath light for like Party City costume, Halloween USA garbage, or given justice to whoever's spending time with you in front of your lens. That's a big deal. Respect goes both ways. I don't care how much money you spent on your kit and how much you think you should get paid for that day. Their time is just like your time. They only have so much of it in this world. Okay? And in the end,
Thanks for saying.
yeah, no worries, man.
thank
No worries. I'm not paying you. But and I just want to close out with this because I'm getting a lot of questions online, stuff like this. If you want to go work and you want to go get hired and be able to create the images on the spot, the first thing you have to do is shoot for yourself. You do not put the work out there that you do not want to be hired for. I put this style out there and I work really hard to elevate as hard as I can on the spot. I mean, I literally just did that car thing right here, figuring it out with you guys. I do that because that's the work I want to do. If you don't shoot for yourself, you're just working a job. So yes, you're going to have 1,000 bosses, 1,000 art directors, 1,000 people that tell you what to do. But in the end, they hired you for what you're doing and what you're putting out there. So if you want to do kids' headshots, knock yourself out. I'm out of that. All right? Work on the craft and the style you want. And that's where they're going to pull you in for because you're that expert for that. Okay? Does that make sense? It's hard out there. It's tricky. Freelance is a nightmare, and I hear you. But if you really want to do it, why would you want to do it on someone else's thought process? Dude, look at this range on you.
No, man, you wouldn't even believe it after.
It's like you got paid for a comp card.
I know.
It's like you got. You know what I tried to get you was an injury stick, so he could actually make you a black eye.
Oh,
so he
yeah.
could sit in the car with a black eye. I thought would be like really cool.
A bar fight or something.
And also remember, if you do injury makeup, always bang up the knuckles because they always try to defend themselves. Don't forget that stuff, okay? Think about what happened. You hit the floor. What did you hit the floor with first? Your palms. Bang up the palms, right? You know? Think about what really happens, you know? Okay, I guess it's always a weird way to exit because like there's no.
Yeah, it's just never.
It's like,
a way
man.
to end it.
Anything else? Was this cool?
Yeah.
Did you guys? Thank you. Are you guys psyched to go shoot? Yeah. Okay, that's the important part. My YouTube channel, Last Ex Witness on Anything. Thank you guys so much. Dad, feel better. Happy birthday. I'm out, guys. Later. Thank you.